Hey, Brittany. And I always seem to
Hey,
start off like that. I don't know why. It's like, hey, how are you?
I'm good, Miss Kim. How are you doing?
I'm good. Welcome to Our Right to Shine. You were our selected guest this week. I have reached out to several people, and you are our selected guest because you do have a right to shine. You are
Thank
a
you.
wonderful, successful Black female doing some great things, and people need to know that. You
Oh,
need to be recognized.
thank
So
you.
I'm going to kind of back up a little bit. Okay.
Okay.
I have been knowing Brittany, and Sharon, you might have to help me with this one because I say five. She was five. Is that true? Because Kia
It
was
was
Wait a minute.
born. Wait a minute. No, Kia was just born. So Kia was 6 months
So
when we
maybe
joined the
six,
church.
because I think
So
she
then
was
y'all
in
was eight.
second grade.
So then y'all was eight. Because Malik and
was
Kia
about
is
eight.
8 years apart.
It was maybe
It was
eight
eight.
because I think
Okay.
it was second grade, second or
Second
third grade.
grade. I
Okay.
think it was
So
second grade.
second grade. So I've been
Thank
knowing you since second grade, 8 years old. 7, 8 years old. And how old are you now?
I just turned 34.
Ooh, Jesus. I've been a Winston a long time.
Look,
long time.
somebody getting old, and it's not us because we look
It
the
sure
same.
ain't because somebody asked me yesterday at the doctor, well, last week at the doctor, they said, do you age? I was like, yeah, my body be feeling it in the mornings. Yes, I do age. So I've been knowing Brittany since she was 8 years old. We met at Galilee Missionary Baptist Church, and our families just connected, and we stayed connected throughout the years. Her and my son Malik went to school together. I think Jr. ended up going to school with Kia, right?
Mm-hmm.
Later on,
Yeah. Yep.
um, they ended up going to school together, and it's just been one big old family affair. I even said my kids stayed at Sharon house. Sharon kids stayed at my house, but I never went to Sharon house. I've never been in your house. Do you know that? Never.
Listen,
Never. Always
okay, we're gonna
drop
have
them
to.
off. Wait a minute. We always drop them off at the door. We must have known that they was going to be okay.
Oh
They
my goodness! Not
got,
even when I lived in the country.
nope. I have never been inside of your house. None of
Oh my God!
your
Wow.
apartment, none of them. I
You know
thought
what? We
about
got to
that.
fix that.
And I asked Malik one time, I said, Malik, have I ever been inside? And he was like, I don't think so, Mom. Because you just dropped
Oh
us
my
off.
goodness!
Miss Sharon just dropped us off. I mean, you dropped off. I said, okay, but then y'all was in good doggone hands because that's the first for me. That is the first for me. So, with that being said, I have been blessed to be a part of Miss Brittany's life. And I want her now to tell her journey, her story. You tell me how this has been for you because now you are with who? The Atlanta Falcons? Yes.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
tell us about that journey.
So born and raised Winston-Salem. Then went to school in a college in Raleigh, North Carolina. So I went to North Carolina State University
Mm-hmm.
in started 2005. Then I graduated in 2009. And even back in Winston, like I always was attracted to art and design and creativity. And Winston's, being an artsy city, it gave me, my parents, family, the resources to kind of put me in the right position to grow and flourish in that atmosphere. So it was always something that I'm thankful that they supported. So whether it be connecting with local artists in
Mm-hmm.
Winston, like the Huffs, or artists at Winston-Salem State, local architects, because I try to dabble in a lot of different things.
Mm-hmm.
My mom or my uncles, my grandparents, they always kind of put me in the connection with the people that they knew who were interested in those areas. So I always had that energy around me. Um, and then in school, like elementary school, middle school, high school, I always took art classes. So I was always engaged in something artistic. And so
Mm-hmm.
by the time I got to high school, my art teacher, his name is Matt Fussell, and he introduced me to industrial design through basically our sketchbooks. So we would do these assignments where you'd have to, for honors art, you'd have to turn a sketchbook in at the end of the semester, and it had to have like 100 sketches in it. And so he noticed that my sketches would be things of objects that I had taken apart, put back together, or was like redesigning. And he said, "Have you ever heard of industrial design?" I said, "No," because I had gone to my guidance counselor and I told her, I was like, basically, I love playing with Lego and I want to design with Lego. And she was like, I don't know what to tell you. So she said, maybe be an architect, but I didn't want to be an architect. Like I was trying to place out of math so I wouldn't have to take math in college. So I knew I didn't want to be an architect.
You're killing me with this math thing, okay? All right, leave the
So
math teachers alone. We got a
it's
job.
like, I respect y'all, but it's like, that just wasn't for me. Like I could do it, but I didn't like it. It's like washing the dishes. I had to do it, but I didn't like it. So once he kind of opened that door, I told my mom, and she started doing her research as she does, and she found a program at NC State as a design camp. And so with that program, they basically let you come on campus for a week, and you get to go through each design program that they actually offer. So she, making her phone calls, she's connected with all these people at the school, researching other schools, of course. She's also considering distance because, she is her baby. So she's like, is there a school in North Carolina that has this, or is my baby going to have to
Right,
go across the country to do it?
right.
So we found NC State, and in the meantime, I'm doing these projects around industrial design, like trying to understand what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And so by the time I got to NC State for design camp, I was able to connect with their folks, go through the programs, and I'm like, yes, this is absolutely what I want to do. And so basically, with industrial design, what it is, it's the design of everyday products. So industrial designers can touch, design, create around pretty much everything except houses. So an
You said
architect does
accept housing.
except houses. So architects do
Ah,
houses. Industrial designers are like product design. So for me, that was sneakers, toys, electronics, furniture, soft products like bags and special apparel gear. Like I got to
mm-hmm,
play around with all those spaces.
mm-hmm,
And I was like, yes, this is exactly what I want to do. So applied NC State, got in, did that for my 4 years, and then I declared a minor in graphic design my junior year. So graphic design kind of being the design of communication. So how we use words, images to communicate messages,
mm-hmm,
branding, logos.
mm-hmm,
Um,
mm-hmm.
and that kind of came about because I think it may have been someone at church first probably asked me, "Oh, I know you're in design school. Can you design a logo for me? I'll pay." I was like, "Of course I can." I didn't know I'd never done it before, but I mean, someone offering to pay me for my skills, while I'm still in school, I'm like, "Oh, okay, yeah, of course I'll do this." So
Mm-hmm.
doing more research around what that meant and what I needed to do. So by the time I got back to school, I was doing freelance design for club promoters, on campus events, got an internship
Mm-hmm.
in both fields, and just kind of giving myself some options, which turned out to be a good thing because by the time I graduated, my dream was to work at Nike designing shoes, but the economy in that market for that space was kind of tough. It was super tight, super competitive. So I didn't get the internships at Nike, Reebok, or Puma. But I had been doing an internship, graphic design internship, to help me build out my portfolio, and that led to my first job at UNC Charlotte. So I graduated and on a Saturday, and I started my job that next Monday
Okay.
because I had just built up the experience I needed,
Right.
um, having a portfolio ready, having my resume,
So you can
doing
help me with some
internships.
sneakers. I want to
Yeah, I
come out
mean,
with. I want to come out with a. But you expensive. Your child is expensive. Cause I done already reached out to her for something. I was like, okay.
I mean, we in demand, so we've been blessed to work with some really amazing folks.
Mhm.
And then from what we do with our lab, locker room, and then being able to work within the range of professional sports. So
Mhm.
um,
Mhm.
it's just once our skills kind of grew, we knew we had something special, so we had to put that price tag on it to kind of
Of course.
to match it
And
up
don't
with.
ever change it. And don't ever change it because everybody's always looking for a deal. You know what I'm saying? And what I've learned is that with people that you know, they always want to get a deal. But other people, they'll just pay for what they want, for
Mm,
somebody else. Like if you didn't know me, you would go ahead and pay me. But because you know me, you'd expect me to give you a deal. No,
yeah.
we got to stop that. The mortgage people don't want to hear no deal. We got to pay that mortgage and
That,
rent every month. So you got to
yeah.
so you got to be consistent and you got to stay
Yeah.
grounded and rooted in what you want, and don't divvy from that, And I
and
respect you for that. I do.
and
But I
a
do
lot
want
of
to
it.
come out with a sneaker line though. I don't know how much it's
Yeah,
gonna cost, but I do want to
yeah.
come out.
Well, what we kind of focus on now is more sneaker customization. So we worked with the Seattle Storm this past summer, and we got to design custom designs around sneakers that they sent to us that they wore during the game. So we do more stuff along those lines. But the cool thing for us right now with our platform, with Locker Room, we're able to kind of take what we make and we pour it back into community. So like right now, we've done a $2,000 pledge to a scholarship program at NC State, and then a
Okay.
$2,000 pledge to my business partner Kayla Pettis, her school in Chicago, her elementary, or it was a magnet school, excuse me. So
Mhm, mhm,
we're kind of
mhm,
helping fund students who want to pursue stuff after high school, whether it be trade school, college, technical, like whatever they want to do, we're helping invest in them. So we take our pricing and we're kind of trying to use it to fund some good stuff, some positivity. And so we're able to do our first scholarship pledge to NC State Day of Giving back in March,
mhm.
and had our first connection with the school in Chicago. So stuff like that has been
So it's starting to
great.
surface. It's
Yeah.
starting to surface and get out. That's good. That's
Yeah.
real good. Who's we? I keep hearing you say we.
So with Locker Room, it's myself and then my business partner. Her name's Kayla Pettis.
Is that
So
the
she's
young
a
lady that y'all just got through taking a picture together? It almost
yeah. So
reminded
in
me
the
of a
soccer,
soccer picture.
yeah. So that's Kayla. Yeah,
Okay, okay,
yeah. So
okay. Was that a
that's my
soccer? Was that soccer or what?
that
What
was soccer. So
it
yeah.
was?
So we
Okay.
also work for Atlanta United. So like the umbrella company, it's A&B Sports and Entertainment. So that's the Atlanta Falcons, Atlanta United Football Club, and then Mercedes-Benz Stadium. So we
Mm,
design for all those branches together.
good for you.
Mhm.
How was that journey to get there?
It was a lot. I mean, because I knew I've always wanted to work within that range of like sports entertainment, sports
Mhm.
apparel, and working at UNC Charlotte wasn't my initial plan, but I think it was where I needed to be because I ended up staying there for 6 years. Like it was
Hmm.
a great first job. I mean, it was solid, great benefits, good pay. I mean, I was able to buy my first house, get my own car, like all the stuff that a young professional wants to do. And then they were very, very supportive in me going back to school. So when I
Mm,
went to get my master's
mm,
and focus more on graphic design, they supported that. So I was able to go to graduate school, do my internship in New York for the summer at Viacom, which is MTV, Spike TV, BET, all those companies.
hmm.
So I got that entertainment side of it, and I was able to take that, build that portfolio, and then go out and apply to all these different places that were um, seeking graphic designers in
Graphic
the field of sports.
designers,
Hmm.
right? And also looking for that industrial look as well. And you
Yeah.
happen to be blessed with both. That's
Hmm.
good.
Yep.
That is really, 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 really good. A lot of kids can't say they can do that. And I know that is a hell of a journey because first you got to keep up with your grades. You got to keep up what's going on in the entertainment. You got to keep up what's going on with sports. You got to keep up with your competitive. peoples,
Mhm.
as well. So that's a lot. That is a lot, and I commend you, girl. I mean, I gotta say, you did a
Yeah.
wonderful, 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 wonderful job. Shaniqua, you got any questions for Brittany? Are you there?
Um, well, kinda, but I don't know if it's an appropriate question.
I think we all over 21. Go
If you
ahead and
could
ask
go
your
back,
question.
okay.
Mhm.
So if you could go back and
Mhm.
with the knowledge you know now, what would you tell that particular guidance counselor?
Um.
Because she kind of made it seem like, you know, I don't really know, or there's nothing really out there.
She didn't know. She didn't dismiss it. So it wasn't like she was actually a great guidance counselor up until just not knowing how to, I guess,
Okay.
place me where I needed to be. So that's why I'm glad I had, my art teacher who was somebody who knew a little bit more about it, because I had never heard of industrial design or even putting together that yes, there's somebody who designs our sneakers. Yes, there's somebody who designs the Lego sets that we used to play with. Like no one had ever really put that together. And honestly, like speaking to people about what I do now, when they find out, working in sports, they're like, oh yeah, we never would have thought that there's somebody who actually puts the graphics together that we see on social media. So, I don't falter. She did offer some suggestions, but it just wasn't what I wanted to do because what I presented was so specific. So,
And with that too, oh, go ahead.
I'm not good, Mom.
I was gonna say, and with that too, not a lot of people even heard of industrial design because we usually talking about, well, she graduated industrial design, and then they give you that look like, what's that?
What is that?
And then you have to go and explain it. So I don't think necessarily she didn't know, like some guidance counselor would tell a kid, well, no, you might not want to go into that because your grades this, and I don't think you're gonna be able to do that. I think it was more or less of her and probably everybody else's lack of knowing exactly what it was.
But shouldn't you do some research? And
Yeah, yeah, she
I have
should have.
heard, and I don't want to switch this to guidance counselors, but I've heard a few little stories where students have reached out to them for a certain type of support. And instead of them doing a research and finding something to get them on that path, they kind of like just brush it to the side and
Mm-hmm.
instead of investigating it. Because I just feel like, high school or college, I'm coming to you for some type of assistance. At least say, well, let me get back to you. Let me see if I can get a contact number for you. I may not know it, but maybe this person can. Give
Yeah.
me a
Yeah.
week, give me 2 weeks, give me 3 weeks.
And I'm
You know what
a
I'm
and I'm
saying?
a very and I'm a very like hands-on. Like if someone tells me I'll get back to you, I'm still probably gonna, especially now, go do my own research. So
Mm-hmm.
it may have been like, just me doing the little sketches and just trying to figure out, what I want to do. And then, my art teacher seeing it and him kind of taking the initiative. But also something Kayla and I are really big on with Locker Room and how we use that platform to help educate. One, we want to educate, let people know, especially our communities, kids who are from where we're from, kids who are Black, because the diversity factor right now in design is still, a big topic that we're trying to break through. But we showcase ourselves in this field to let them know, like, hey, there are people who look like you in this field. And if you want to get into this, like, let us know. We connect with you, and we keep our messages, emails, DMs open. Like just last week, I had a mom from she and her husband went to A&T and they live in Raleigh now, but they saw my picture in a catalog for SCAD.
Mm-hmm.
And she just took a chance, hit me up on LinkedIn and it's like, hey, my son got into SCAD. Would you mind sitting down and chatting with us for a little bit to answer some questions? I said, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So it's also about, I think, be it the student, the parent, whomever, just taking the initiative to link up with the right people. Because if I had waited on my guidance counselor, maybe with her stuff on her plate, she couldn't get to it. Maybe she just doesn't find
Right.
anything because she doesn't know where to look. So I always encourage students to, especially with social media the way it is now, like people being more accessible, like send that direct message, ask questions, like, kind of take it into your own hands because
Right.
sometimes people aren't going to want to know, or
Right.
maybe it's
They
just
just
not
don't.
priority.
Right.
Yeah, or
Right.
it's not priority. So it's like you don't want to be held back because someone else's time, is not,
Mm-hmm.
I don't have time to figure this out for you, but go ask questions. My parents always, if I had a question, go look it up. And it used to be so frustrating, but it's like now I know how to get the tools to like look stuff up. So now I do the same thing to them when they come to me. Well, how do I do this? Like my dad was like, I need to do a podcast and I don't know how to do this and that. And I was like, go look it up. Nah, I help them. But it's still funny to go back and push the question what they used to do to me. But it's like I always encourage people to kind of take the time to, invest in yourself, ask the right questions, be persistent. Like from connecting with my mentor, who's like one of the most respected creatives in the world of sports design. It's like
Mm-hmm.
once I connected with him and, he saw what I was doing, he took his platform to elevate and put some shine on me. So by the time I was stepping into these rooms I had never been in, my name had already been mentioned. So it's like
Mm.
took me being pushed a little bit and having a little bit of courage to go speak to him. And now he's like, oh, I
Yeah,
see what this
because
young lady's
right, I
doing.
know that name now, right? So you're
Yeah.
gonna have to step up your game.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all right. So where's Brittany going now? What's your next move? Or you just
I don't know. Like right now, I'm a planner, but I mean, I like where we're going with locker room. I like the possibilities of it. It's just so open right now. We're just trying
Mhm,
to scale it in to kind of really focus. So we're in a kind of a professional development program here in Atlanta, connecting with some entrepreneurs, business owners, giving us some coaching just to kind of see like what we can do with it, how we should structure it, from the legalities of it, like our registering our the name of the business and figuring
mhm,
out, how we want it to be registered and how do we
mhm,
balance the day
mhm.
job and this if we wanted to go down that avenue and I mean it's a lot.
So since it's so, right, so since the market is so open, you have a lot of different opportunities, a lot of different areas that you can
Yes.
go into. So you
Yes.
just got to narrow it down to that area and maybe start there and then from there
Mhm.
see how well it does and then move to the next and move to the next so that you can become the next Nike.
Yeah, maybe we could be the next Nike. We've talked about like our dream of, being the first designers signed to Nike. So the same way
That's
athletes get
exactly
signed to,
right.
we're
That's
like, oh,
exactly
we could
right.
be, so,
That's
we're
right.
just,
Go for it. Go for it. Don't go for it. You got something to say, Mom?
Well, I was going to say two things. I was going to say it early, but I didn't want to interrupt. But but with the shoes, with the professional basketball team, that to me was like, I was like, wow, look at my baby shoes out there on that floor. And then they was fan off the. I'm like, get back on the shoes, get back on the shoes. I need to see tennis shoes. And then the fact that people like they were auctioned off and people paid some big dollars for those tennis shoes. And I was like, oh, I want a pair, but I ain't got that kind of money. I was like,
So how
I'm
is
trying to
go
put
ahead,
the
I'm sorry.
auction in. I was gonna put like a bid in, but then I was like, I ain't got that kind of money. I don't even wear tennis shoes like that. I wear flip flops. But I was just so proud. And then I was thinking when you were talking earlier about like how long we've known each other. Do you remember when Brittany and Malik did a little project downtown?
It's
oh, the
still down
painting.
there.
Yeah, the
It's
murals.
still
Yeah.
down there. Those
I
murals
was,
are still
I
there.
was like, every time I
That
go
was our
past that
first
place,
job.
That was
I
your
think that was
right.
actually
That was
our
their
very first,
first job. Who was the
because I
art
remember
teacher?
it was
Leo Rucker.
Leo Rucker.
That's
So I
right.
remember,
That's
I
right.
remember laughing
That's
because we
right.
got our checks. We got our first checks, and I think my mom had taken us to like Home Depot. Me and Malik to Home Depot, so we had cashed our check, and we were in Home Depot picking up something for the house. But we were just like gonna find something to buy in Home Depot because we had money. Just looking like this, and I think my stepdad was like, what do y'all need at Home Depot? Why do you have to spend your money like right now? We said we gotta buy something. So we end up buying like a catalog of floor plans for architect, and we drew the houses up that architecture. But he was just like, y'all just had to find something to buy at Home Depot. You could just save. But we're so excited to have that our own money.
Right, right. I do remember that. It was very exciting. Very,
Yeah.
very exciting. Well, I just want to thank you so much. And I will probably reach back out to you. Maybe if you don't mind, I am putting together an event. And is your friend in Atlanta? She is in Atlanta as well,
Hmm.
right? So,
Yep.
okay. So, maybe the two of you, we could work something out,
Okay.
moving forward.
Yep.
Um, because I can't stop being into everything. I just can't. As long as it's something positive, and I'm going to do it. So, or try it. We only got one life to live, okay? So I
Yep.
might as well live this as best as I possibly can. And I do want to speak with you about some things that I am
Okay.
interested in as well, moving forward. So,
Okay.
Shaniqua, you got anything else to say to Britt?
Not right now. I'm dealing with a situation, so not at this present moment.
Well, Brittany, thank you so much for coming on A
Mhm.
Right to Shine. You will get a gift from us. Now, my designs ain't like your design. But I do like graphic design. Malik said that. He
Mhm.
said you have really been stepping up your game lately with these
Okay
new
now. Okay.
interviews and stuff. So I have so I really, really like it. And I don't know, maybe that's where he got his talent from. And I didn't even realize. I know
Yeah.
I always liked art. I always
Yeah.
liked art. Even as a child, I would draw, I would look for stuff. I would even look at housing or I would
Hmm.
like you say, sketch all these
Yep.
different little things. But then as I got older, I just kind of let it fall through the wayside. But I really like the graphic designs. I really like doing stuff like
That's kind of how it's been on our side. Like my dad would draw, my grandfather, my uncle John, my great aunts on my dad's side. Like, so finding out that we have all these creative people, and I think it's like myself and my cousin Shanthony, and then another cousin Julia. We're all doing graphic design right now. But just hearing like our older family members who just didn't pursue it, and they may have said it for different reasons because it wasn't a way to support the family at the time or back at.
exactly,
So it's like
exactly,
now we want to make sure that the young people we speak to today, there's still a lot of hesitation from the parents to say, well, I want to make sure my child can get a job. So we just outline like these are all the different opportunities. I mean, we're doing stuff for Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, like all those things come from
right,
creatives and from
right,
designers. So just letting them
right.
know what's possible, it kind of helps them grasp, oh, okay, they will be okay. They can design logos, they can do this, they can do video, they can
Mhm,
do. So it's a
mhm.
lot of different things, we do.
And our youth need to know that.
Hmm.
I don't know. Your generation, there's two sides. There's one side that has I guess you can say are doing things differently as far as financial jobs.
Hmm.
They're going to school, they're graduating, they're saving their money, they're learning to invest, they're going into real estate, they're going into graphic designs, they're making money. And then there's another group that's just let me still try to figure out what it is I want to do. And the world is not stopping. It's still moving and it's still growing and it's still challenging. And
Hmm.
but I have seen, and even me working on my part-time job, I'm seeing so many young people really getting themselves together. It's like they don't want to make the same mistakes we made. Like we didn't make bad mistakes. I don't think we made bad mistakes. So we went to school, we got our degrees, we took care of our family. That was our focus, making sure that
Hmm.
you all was okay, giving y'all these different avenues and opportunities that we was not able to do, but we invested in you all to be able to do it. And I think that made a change into your directions now, what it is that you want to
Mhm.
do. Yeah, sometimes we got to curve to the side a little bit, but you learn to fall back on track. If it's hair cutting, okay, yeah, I could start. I could open up my own business and start cutting hair. If it's football, I want to be a coach now. I want to, but your coaching ideas is not elementary, middle school. I'm moving towards NFL. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
That type of idea. So your generation is really moving and starting to think bigger. They're thinking
Yeah.
bigger in what it is that they want to do in life, and I love it. I really do. I think that it's a wonderful, wonderful thing. So I don't have anything else to say. I'm looking forward to, like I said, working with you and doing something together. I have some projects that I have on the calendar. I will get back in contact with you about
Okay.
that. Hopefully, your calendar will allow you to be able to do that with me. And
Okay.
I thank you so much for joining us on A Right to Shine, because you are a right to shine. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. You
Thank you.